Hey foodies, this is your girl Nick. I am doing a little experiment over the next 5 days and I wanted to share it with you. So I want to first tell you what my little experiment is. Then secondly, tell you why I'm doing it. And then third, tell you why I think it's relevant to you guys, the Foodie Nation. So what I'm going to do is I am trying to learn about global poverty. So in order to make myself more cognizant of the daily realities of people living in global poverty, I am going to set my food budget over the next 5 days to the U.S. equivalent of the poverty line, which would be $1.50 a day. So that means I have $1.50 a day to spend on food for the next 5 days. I actually approached it instead of spending $1.50 every day on food. I approached it more like $7.50 for food for 5 days. Why am I doing this? Well, the short answer is that I work for an organization that does emergency relief and development. Development being sort of, I guess in oversimplistic terms, the teach a man to fish mentality, helping people to help themselves out of poverty. And there are a lot of different organizations who are doing experiences that you can do, such as this, where you can experience the day-to-day realities or something of the day-to-day realities of a person living in extreme poverty so that you can become mindful of those day-to-day realities and be moved to help people who are living in extreme poverty. So my organization is looking to try and create such an experience to sort of open folks' minds and hearts to help. And so nobody asked me to do this, but I figured as I was researching some of these experiences that are out there, I came across a couple that challenged people to live under the poverty line for a couple of days. And I wondered if I could do it, especially as a post-op with special needs for my diet. It also brought to mind the fact that a lot of you guys are struggling with the economy, with the recession, with a whole bunch of different factors that limit your food budget. And so I wanted to see if I took it to the extreme, what kind of concessions I would have to make, what kind of creative things could I find to do to be able to eat within that budget. I also wanted to experience what it might be like just a little bit for a person who's living in global poverty, because some of you may or may not know there is a very extreme drought and food crisis going on both in East and West Africa. So my cat wants to be in the video. In both East and West Africa, and so the situation is very serious. Folks there probably don't even have $1.50 a day to feed themselves and their families. And so as I was going through and researching what I could eat for $1.50 a day, and I was being really, really whiny and diva-esque about it, I was trying to keep in mind that there's people who don't even have that. So tomorrow, which is Monday, starts day one of this challenge. I went grocery shopping today, and I just want to share with you what I got for the week, and just a little bit of my impressions so far. So, what I have, keeping in mind that I have a cat milling about trying to take what I've got, is, okay, so I bought a bag of, you guys know I love this stuff, cauliflower. It was $1 at the grocery store, which is pretty good deal. So I picked some of that up. I also got a bag of broccoli, but I'm actually not going to use that because after I factored in the broccoli, it took me to about $7.70 for the week, and I'll tell you why. Well, number one, that's over my budget. But number two, I'll tell you why that's sort of a problem in a minute. Okay, so also got eggs because I need protein. I'm a post-op forever and always. So eggs are going to be sort of my main source of protein this week. Just protein only protein this week. What else do I have? I have my friend Kelly on Obesity Help will be happy about this. I got a really good deal, $1.25 for this big arse can chickpeas, garbanzo beans. They are a carb and also a good source of protein. I'm going to roast them because I've become partial to snacks, so I'm going to use that as a snack. I have lentils. Lentils were actually the cheapest bean I could find in the grocery store. They were $1 a bag. All the other ones were more than $1 a bag. And so I got the lentils, and I'm going to make my curried lentils. The recipe is on the blog. I will put the link on the blog. I also invested in, because veggies cost money too, an onion. It's in the bag. I was kind of resentful about the onion because I wanted a big onion. I always get a big onion every week from the farmer's market and use it up because I love, love, love onions. But a big onion was like $1.99 a pound in my grocery store, my local grocery store. And I went to my local grocery store because when you travel far out to a grocery store that's not near you, there's a cost built into that. There's the gas that you're using to go to the grocery store that's cheaper, which is, I didn't want to have to do the math and factor that into the price of my food because I'm totally an idiot at math. So I went to the grocery store that I could walk to. So it was $1.99 a pound for onions, which I find to be quite expensive. I usually go to Aldi. So I couldn't afford a big onion, so I have this little onion. I'm going to try and make it work. God help me. So that's what I have for the week. I could not afford cheese, which is going to be interesting because I always eat my eggs with cheese. I wanted to get some tuna, couldn't afford tuna from the local grocery store. It was about 89 cents, which is more than half of my daily food budget. The reason why the broccoli was a big deal, though, is because if I'm making curried lentils, guess what else goes into curried lentils? Curry! And also garlic. Spices and stuff have monetary value, too. So I had to factor that in. My curry powder came out to about maybe, 15 cents. A tablespoon or something like that for the kind I bought. So, a couple tablespoons of that and then some garlic, it adds up. Keeping in mind that people who are living in poverty don't have the option of getting things on sale, extreme couponing, and they only have what they have to cook. So I'm trying to stay as true to that as possible. Initial impressions. I can see why America is so big. Oh my goodness, the cheapest things to eat were probably ramen, and those big like ramen noodle bowls that are like spicy hot kind. Those about the cheapest things to buy in the grocery store. Everything else was way out of my price range. Milk was out of my price range. Cheese was out of my price range. Lean meats absolutely were out of my price range, and forget about anything organic. So that just gives you a little glimpse of maybe why America is so big, because the most nutrient-dense foods are the most expensive in the grocery store. Second impression is it became nearly impossible to shop the perimeter of the supermarket doing this plan. I had to go into the inside of the supermarket to get the few things that I was able to get. And, we give that traditional dieting advice of shopping the perimeter, but if you really are living on a very, very limited food budget, it can be hard. So I'm hoping this week to help a few of you guys out by reporting my eating and some creative ways that I'm using what's inside the grocery store without being terribly unhealthy. Third impression is, when you say you're going to do something like live on $1.50 a day for food, you think, oh, you're going to do rice and beans all week. Hell, even rice wasn't that cheap. Rice was like $4 a bag. So yeah, food is expensive. And I guess the last bonus impression is that I think that even the fact that I'm doing this, trying to adhere to a higher protein, lower carb, or any kind of healthy diet, is sort of a signal of, my Western privilege, that I feel like I have the right to eat healthfully instead of just eating whatever is available to me for the money that I have. This is already changing the way I think about food, because when you only have $1.50 a day, is the food item you have in your hand really worth that percentage of your daily food budget? So anyway, I'm off to go make my curried lentils, because another thing is that you sort of have to prepare for this. I can't wake up tomorrow and wing it or have a backup plan because my food budget is already spent for the week. So if the curried lentils aren't ready, I have no lunch for tomorrow. I think I'm going to have eggs for breakfast. I'll report back each day. I'm tentatively calling this the Hunger Games, not to make light or be cavalier, or Nick's Hunger Games, but not to make light or be cavalier about this subject, but sort of not to name it after any of those organizations that do this, because I'm not specifically adhering to any one organization's rules. So anyway, that's what I have for today. So follow along. hopefully I will still be here after the 5 days and won't have dove headfirst into a vat full of peanut butter. Anyway, so that's it for now, and I'll report back tomorrow. Thanks, Rudy. Good night.